guys, what's up and welcome to the channel. So I know I've been delaying this for a little while and we're now at 25,000 subscribers, which thank you guys for that. But this is the 20K Q&A that I promised you guys. I did pick, I think, 11 questions out of the comments. There were a lot of pretty good ones. There were a bunch that were very similar, so I'm probably going to answer a lot of those in the same one, or they were similar enough that that I was just going to bundle those together. So anyways, I have my lovely assistant, cameraman Ryan, who is behind the camera, who will be asking me these questions and probably butchering your name. So yeah, Ryan, hit me with that first question.
Alright, here's the first name being butchered. Lucio Benanga.
Alright.
Who's your favorite character from Eyeshield 21?
Wow, okay. So Eyeshield 21, that is from a long time ago, and I'm actually surprised that anybody remembered from any of my streams that I actually liked Eyeshield 21, because that's not really an anime that comes up very often, because it's a tad obscure even amongst like sports anime fans. Like I've dropped like Eyeshield 21 on people before, and they're like, I've never heard of that, and I'm like, you need to go watch it because it's fantastic. But I would say probably my favorite would be the Cebu Wild Gunman, just because I really enjoyed their aesthetic, the cowboy look. Not only that, but I really liked the way that they worked together. The locomotive dude, that whenever he ran, he was just like a straight up locomotive. And the quarterback was pretty sweet. And I like the fact too that that team had Senna's childhood friend on it, so it was one of those like, oh, childhood, you know, friend versus friend type of deal. So that was my big thing about it. Like overall though, it's really hard to pick because Eyeshield 21 had so many good characters and so many good teams that, you know, they all brought something to the table. Even like, you know, the snake one, I forget what their name was, but they were like super shady and like, but they still brought like that little bit of extra stuff to it. Because I think that was the one, wasn't that, Ryan, wasn't that the team with the dude who had like the purple dreads or whatever? And oh man,
yeah, he was like a karate expert, and he was hyper violent, and he used that in his football.
In his football, yeah, and like even then, you know, that still played out like really well. And I just like, man, it's just like so hard to like nail down one. You're like, oh, this is the character, this is the team, because then you've got the American football team, you've got the White Knights, you've got the Egyptian team, you've got
the spiders whose whole strategy was kicking.
Yeah, and wasn't there like a medieval Camelot themed one? Weren't they like supposed to be like super, like they were super crazy strong? They were like the strongest ones.
Oh yeah,
I remember because like they won the Christmas Bowl and like a bunch of other stuff. And oh my god, dude, it's been so long since I watched Eyeshield. Like I legit remember watching it in like 480p that I downloaded from like LimeWire, like infected my computer with anime AIDS just to get like really poor quality episodes of Eyeshield 21. Man, those are the days. I should definitely try to find it though. Again, I'm sure it's got to be somewhere.
I watched it back on YouTube for a little while. I saw a good chunk of the episodes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember at one point they stopped, like whoever was like translating it, like just stopped, and then I was like, I don't know what to do. Like I can't, you know, find this anywhere. And so I remember like coming back to it like years later, and I did that. Like I had to like watch bad compilations of like episodes on YouTube that I'm just like, oh, this is bad. But I mean, I'm sure that since then they've probably released maybe like dub copies or well, sub copies. I don't watch dub. Blech, gross. But anyways, yeah. So I don't really have a favorite character per se, but a favorite team was definitely the Wild Gunman. Plus they had that cool cactar icon. So, alright, what's next question?
Question 2 is from It's Your Boy, Squid McGee.
It's your boy, Squid McGee.
What is your favorite video you made?
My favorite video that I've ever made is probably my first this month in Chaldea. I had done like kind of news type deal, like shows, not really, but a little bit. Like I did thumbnails and stuff like that. And I was just sitting there one day and I realized that like a lot of the people, a lot of my views came from videos of me just speculating what was coming up next, or talking about like banner order, stuff like that. So I thought, well, why not do like a monthly news show to like talk about, hey, this is what could be coming up, this is what might be coming. And I was throwing around ideas in my head about how to do that. Do I just sit down and go, hey guys, what's up, Shotgun Shogun here, this is what's probably coming up, maybe, I don't know, while I play through stuff. And then I was like, no, let's make this literally a news show. Like I was, like I don't know, I just like got up and when I did the first like run through and like scripting of it, it was probably at like, I don't know, 2 a.m. It was one of those nights where I was just like, had an epiphany. And I just woke up and I'm like, oh, gotta make a video. Oh god, oh, gotta do this before I fall back asleep. And so when I did it, I just really was a big fan of how it turned out. Like, I enjoyed, like, the little local man, this, and, like, just adding, like, all those extra little things in. It takes a lot more time. They're a little bit more streamlined now, but it was a proof of concept type of video, and I was just snickering the whole way through with my bad puns and just, like, the news stuff. So that was probably, like, my favorite one. And this month in Chaldeas are probably hands down my favorite ones, just because I get to work with like other content creators, like Musaki, G&A Reviews, Lord Ashura, Admin B, K Collections, So now it's like I have a whole news crew that I can pull from, because like let's say next month I want to do some weather. I go, hey, K Collections, I need you to come back as the weatherman, hey, Soberoni, how did your casinos go? I need some more financial advice. What's going on with Admin B as Blackbeard? Is he still in jail or not? So, it definitely is nice to work with other members of the community, and I get to get real punny on it. And, sometimes it's correct, sometimes it's not, but I have a lot of fun with it. So, yeah, definitely the first this month in Chaldea was probably my favorite one.
Question 3 from Angry Mango. What kind of shotgun are you the Shogun of?
So I have a KSG Keltec 12-gauge shotgun, 14 plus 1 rounds. It is a bullpup style. If I would have thought about it, I would have brought it down, but then YouTube would have probably demonetized me because I had a shotgun in my video, which joke's on me because I'm not monetized in the first place. Ha ha! Jokes on you, YouTube. You can't demonetize me if I am not monetized in the first place. So yeah, KSG Keltec 12 gauge. I might actually go pick something up here in the near future. I wanted to get a semi-auto shoddy, but I'm not sure which one. I'm on the fence on that one. So, and you can hear my dog in the background. He enjoys barking whenever I have to make videos. Yeah.
Next question from Roy Raven. Oh yeah, I might need to blow up this comment section! Exclamation mark. Firstly, will we be receiving a public apology for getting everyone addicted to AL and beautiful ship waifus? You must take responsibility for this. Another exclamation mark.
Okay, so no, you're not going to get a public apology, because if I have to suffer, then you have to suffer as well. I actually enjoy getting other people addicted to the same games as me, so that I am not alone in my suffering for gacha. And I also don't take responsibility for any of my bad life choices or mistakes. So no, Roy Raven, you will not be getting an apology. Have fun in the Maya mines. Are you trying to figure out the next name?
No, it's so tiny. It's such a long question.
Oh.
I'm rehearsing in my mind.
If you rotate the thing sideways, it should be easier to read.
Slightly bigger.
Slightly bigger. Oh, yeah. Wow, that is... Alright.
Le Random Ray Quaza 2011.
Alright.
Since you mentioned the reason why you started your channels to show off your bad summons to your friends,
yep.
What made you want to do guide videos and other fake Grand Order and now Azure Lane content on your channel? What advice do you have for people who want to create similar content on their channel but would like to expand or improve their channel? Congratulations on receiving 20K subs. Keep up the good work, man.
Okay, so the reason why I started making guides and videos and server profiles and stuff like that, I blame my Discord and my users, or my watchers. I never intended on doing guides at all. I actually never intended on streaming. I actually wanted to start my channel and just do ARC Let's Plays. But the more that I put up role videos and like playthroughs and stuff like that of Fate Grand Order, the more people started following me. And then they started asking my opinion on things, and I was like, well, I don't know. And then Saber Wars came around, and they were like, hey, you should stream. And I'm like, hey, I should stream. And so I started streaming, and then more and more people were asking for my opinion. They wanted me to do videos, you know, guides, stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, I'll throw my hat in the ring. You know, and at the time, you know, and still at the time, there's not too many people that make that kind of content. And so I wanted to bring my flair to it. Now I know a lot of people are like, oh, you just read off of the wiki. Those people don't actually watch my videos. So I've dismissed that quite a bit because a lot of people learn in different ways. So I like to be very audio visual because a lot of people learn that way. And there's a lot of people who don't like guide videos because they're like, well, just go read the wiki. But not a lot of people can just read a wiki and understand it. If you're a new person coming into the game, you can read numbers on a page, but that doesn't mean that you understand it. So I wanted to bring just another outlet for maybe those people who might have went to the wiki, but they don't know why this skill is good, or you know, the wiki doesn't show you what craft essence to use on a servant or who to team them up with. They don't really talk about the pros and cons and stuff like that. So the more I made guides and the more that people were like, hey, thank you very much, this helped me out a lot, you know, just kind of turned, you know, snowballed into what I am now. As for how to start and how to grow your channel, I would just suggest just doing it. Like, just put stuff out there. Like, if you're one of those perfectionists that you're like, I'll never be happy with this video, you're not going to put anything out because it's never going to be good enough for you to put out there. And that was one of the big things that I had to deal with, like, early on, because I'm like, oh, this video is absolute dog crap. But then I would put it out there, and then I would learn from it. You know, I would see other videos that people were doing, and I'm like, oh, I like how they did that. I'm going to try to replicate that, but with my own style. So it's really about just doing it and then learning from your mistakes or learning how to do better the next time. You know, like I didn't script anything for a long time because I was like, I'll just talk about this. And then I had to, you know, at the very beginning, I didn't know how to edit. So that was something I had to learn. And I didn't know how to use Photoshop. So that was something I had to learn. I didn't know how to script, so like once I started scripting, like I had to learn how to script and write everything out. So it's a long process, and I feel like a lot of people who are trying to build a channel don't want to take the time to really put into that stuff, because I put probably a good like 5 to 12 hours into like normal videos. Let alone like my bigger guide videos take me days to like write everything out, research everything, record, edit that, do all of the graphics and everything like that. And you know, that on top of a full-time job is very, very daunting. You know, the other thing too is I don't really get paid for this, so it's one of those things where I'm like, man, do I want to make this guide, or do I literally want to just watch anime for the next 5 hours? And it's real tough, and, without making this for the community that I have, all of the people in my Discord, all of the subscribers, I would just opt to go watch anime and just farm ship waifus and Fate Grand Order stuff. But I feel like now I have a responsibility, which I just told Roy Raven I don't take responsibility for anything. So, I guess I lied to you on that one. I do have a responsibility now to kind of get this stuff out there. So, I guess long story short, just start and then see how you like it. Because if you're not doing it for you and you're not enjoying it, then you're not going to want to do it. I still enjoy it, even though YouTube wants to keep boning me.
Hashtag justice for Shogun.
Hashtag monetize Shogun.
Alright. Next one. Dionysus. Or Dionysus.
Yeah.
20K hype. In all honesty, you deserve it, man. You have a generally interesting stream and that attracts some of the best of the community. I guess my question would be, what got you into the Fate series? That can be how you came upon it, where you started, etc. Thanks for the content, man. And here's to another 20K.
No problem. First off, I'd like to say Irene is the waifu that you're looking for. And, how I got into Fate was, when it first started, like, the anime, got translations, got subs, was back in, like, my anime heyday, where that's literally all I did. I would wake up, I would watch anime, and I would watch anime until I went to sleep. So I was watching everything available. So when Fate first hit the States, I watched it, and I was instantly hooked, because I've always been kind of like a mythology history nerd. I liked, historical heroes of old and all of that stuff. So whenever I found out that, King Arthur was a hot chick that, I could find tasteful pictures of on the internet, I was pretty much hooked on Fate. Now the thing is back in the day I didn't really know much about, light novels or visual novels or anything like that. It was, oh, does this have an anime? Sweet, I'll watch it. I didn't even, back then I didn't even really read too much in the way of manga. The only thing I don't even think I was reading One Piece at that time. I was, watching One Piece, because I didn't start reading One Piece until, well after that. But the thing is, I probably watched original Dean Fate Stay Night so many times. And, I mean, it's very weathered now. It's not the best in the way, but, ever since then, I've just been hooked. Literally anything that I could find Fate-wise, I was just like, oh, give me that. When Unlimited Budget Works came out, Fate Zero came out, all of that stuff, I was just, instantly hooked. Later I found out about the visual novels, but by that time I was like, these are pretty old. I still, one of these days, want to, go back through and play them, but visual novels take a lot of time. I have read most of the mangas, light novel wise, Fate Strange Fake. There's a lot of stuff that I try to catch up on when I have time. Unfortunately, I don't have a ton of time all the time, so so that's pretty much what got me hooked. And now, I mean, they've got the fangs in me even deeper with Fate Grand Order and all of the merchandise that's literally all over my house now. So yeah.
Side question. When they say Tales of Yore, what the hell does Yore mean?
Yesterday.
Is that just what it is?
Yeah, Tales of Yore is in the past. Now, I don't know what the exact definition is, but yeah, when you say, oh, Tales of Yore, it's tales of yesteryear, or previous, of the past.
Word. Alright, that was from me.
Oh, okay.
Next question is Calvin Dewey.
Alright.
I enjoy your spotlights because you include the MP gain and the star gain from optional chains. Sorry,
optimal card chains, yeah.
For my question, though, are boneless buffalo wings just expensive chicken nuggets?
No, and we've looked this up before, because this was a question that that has come up in my lifetime, which I never thought that would be a question that I'd ever have to answer. But chicken nuggets and buffalo wings, boneless buffalo wings, are different because if it has the texture of like chicken, if it has like the stringiness, then it is a buffalo wing. Chicken nuggets are in fact like the ground up chicken that is then formed into a nugget. So that is the definition between those two. And actually we've looked up a lot of really weird questions, like what's the actual definition of a sandwich? Like what Webster's dictionary, what constitutes a sandwich? So there's been a lot of questions that have come up in my life that I'm like, really? I am on the internet looking up what the difference between a boneless chicken wing and a chicken nugget are. So, and boneless wings are a certain length, whereas if they go past a certain length, then they're now a chicken tender. I also believe I think that it said that those two chicken tenders come from a different portion of the chicken than the boneless wing.
Oh, yeah, probably.
So, but I can't remember what that was. Basically, once it was like, hey, yeah, if it's still like textured chicken, then it's
strips versus ground.
Yeah, strips versus ground. Yep. So there you go. There's your answer.
I'm still unsatisfied with Webster's definition of a sandwich.
Yeah.
Because of the side note, oh, by the way, there's an open face sandwich.
By the way, yeah. That defies all logic. All sandwich logic.
All right. So the next question. Oh, there's two people on this one. I think
they're the similar question. Yeah.
So we have Francisco Diaz and Jonathan Chapman.
All right.
I'll read Jonathan's because it looks a little shorter.
Okay.
Can you explain your whole deal as much as you feel comfortable with? Like, what do you do day to day for a living or your routine? What things are you into? How big are you into this game versus other games? And let's double check the first one. Grats, man. And I have been wondering for some time, what is your job? How do you play this game without going hungry? And do you play multiple games?
Okay, yeah, no, so those are very similar. So my daily routine is I wake up at like 8 a.m. I work from home, so I contemplate putting on pants for about 5 to 10 minutes while I lay in bed. Then my dogs decide that I have laid in bed too long, so then I wake up, I go downstairs, and I let them out. I check all of my Fate stuff while I am using the bathroom and letting them out and doing my bathroom thing. And then I go to work, which for my job I am a technical account manager, which is a glorified babysitter that can talk to layman's and tech terms. So I get paid pretty well to do that. So yeah, that's my job. If you've ever watched, was it Office Space, Ryan, with that dude that like takes the requirements from the customer and then takes them to the engineers? I'm that guy. Like, I am the middleman that just has to talk technical to the tech teams and then translate all of that into normal terms that normal business people can deal with, in terms of like C and VP level people. That's usually the people that I am involved with. So in terms of, do I play any other games? Well, obviously, I think back at 20K, I wasn't really playing Azure Lane as much. But obviously right now I play Fate and Azure Lane quite a bit. And how do I manage that? Well, 2 devices. So I can pretty much, Azure Lane's pretty easy to grind, so I can casual grind that while I'm grinding in Fate Grand Order. And depending on the event, I can, swap my main focus on either one. The nice thing is, working from home, I can literally just have those on my desk while I'm doing my normal job. So that allows me for much, much more time to actually grind. What other questions were in that, Ryan?
Mostly, what do you do and how do you afford to do the things you do?
Yeah, I also don't really go outside and do much. So while other people would take, trips and vacations, I buy waifu figures and digital PNGs of waifus. Like, the only trip I take is to the motherland of Japan to buy more Fate stuff. That's pretty much what I do. I don't really eat a lot either. I'm on low carb, so I don't eat a ton of food. So, yeah, I keep my personal cost low so I can keep my waifu budget high.
And then the only other thing was comparing Fate to other games, like how much more are you into Fate than
well,
other
actually,
games?
like, I mean, to be completely honest with you, like, since Azure Lane hit, I've lost a little bit of focus on Fate. The other thing, too, is, like, the Halloween rerun was kind of boring. Dead Weeks are very meh. But Azure Lane is pumping out content real quick, so it's like I have to kind of focus on that to stay competitive where I am. And, so that's been getting a little bit more of my focus. But usually if I pick up a secondary game, it is just that secondary. I've spent way too much money on Fate Grand Order to ever not have that be my primary game. But we'll see after I fight Albert at Anime NYC whether I stick with Fate Grand Order. They'll probably ban my account. They'll be like, your account's gone.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hashtag Shotgun Throwdown.
Yeah. 1v1.
Next question. Jack Smith. Are you PewDiePie's long-lost brother?
Yes, actually. Hashtag get me to 67 million subscribers. I think that's what he has, 63, 67, I don't know. Yeah, no. Are you saying that every white guy with a beard just looks the same? Because that is very, very true, actually. Actually, every white guy with a very large beard is pretty much related. So yeah, no, unfortunately I am not PewDiePie's long-lost brother. I have a Germanic and Russian heritage, not Scandinavian. I think PewDiePie is from there, maybe Sweden. I don't know. But yeah, my Russian heritage means I'm just a Russian bot, on the internet. But
bot.
No. Unfortunately, sorry you didn't find PewDiePie's long lost brother's secret channel.
And our last question, Raizu Stash.
Okay.
Congratulations for 20k subs. Here's my question. What do you think the future of Fate Grand Order America, or Fate Grand Order Global?
Mm-hmm.
Any suggestions for Aniplex US so that they may maintain their current player base, if not increase it, for the next 1 to 2 years into the future?
Well, so that's a lot of question, and I do plan on going much further into depth on this in a video that I plan on putting out here pretty soon, because I've been gathering up a lot of my feelings on this. But for teaser, what do I think? I think that they're going to see a decline, to be completely honest. They are burning a lot of their diehard fans with the way that they are kind of treating the people who kind of know what's coming up, because, to quote them, our clairvoyance EX has gone down a bit. And while I understand, like, some people like surprises, some people like going into the game, completely blind, not everyone does. And if you're not one of those people and you have looked at the future, through your all-seeing eye of Sauron, you get a little agitated when things aren't the way that they're supposed to be. And especially if you are a person who is trying to work a budget around what is coming up, and they either put something early so that you might not have the amount of money that you'd like to put in on that, or if something's like delayed for a further time and you're like, oh man, I wish that this was out now. The other thing too, as like a video creator, it is really tough for me, because they'll just go, oh, here's this thing. And I'm like, oh, sweet, looks like I'm not sleeping tonight because I need to get this video out, because if I don't, then people are going to be like, hey, where's your video on this, and that's not your fault, that's my fault. That's, just me being the way that I am. As for advice for them, They really, really need to go back to their Japanese bosses and just say that they need to have more social communication. They need to be able to talk to people, to address concerns, because when you don't tell people anything, they're going to think the worst. And if you're not engaging with your customer base, then your customer feels like they are a wallet, not a person. And no one wants to feel that way. Like, take Azure Lane, for example. They reach out to their streamers. They work with their YouTube creators. They are constantly talking to their community. They have a Discord where literally the devs sit in there and just actually, like, talk to people. When they have concerns, they actually address those concerns. And, you know, I understand it's a Japanese company, and I understand that people are like, well, this is the way it is on the Japanese version. And, you know, in my opinion, don't just settle with it because, well, that's just the way it is. No, life advice, don't ever settle for something because that's just the way it is. Like, if you think that you deserve something more, then go for it. You know, maybe you'll be called entitled. But at the same time, think about, should I get free stuff? Well, I mean, maybe not. Maybe asking for free SSRs, you know, is out of the realm of possibility. But asking, hey, can I have this? And then them telling you no is better than you going, hey, can I have this? And them never talking to you again. You know, because, yeah. And so, do I think that they're going to get better? Well, they've already listened to us a little bit in getting rid of the likes and shares campaigns for extra Saint Courts. Now, what I would like to see is that they give us a base amount of Saint Courts and then add in the extra stuff for the likes and the shares. Now, if you just go, hey, base 3 Saint Courts, this is what you're going to get for this event. But if you like and share this to X amount, then we'll throw in some more stuff. Now we'll throw in this. Because, you know, if I have stretch goals that are actually worth something, then I'm much more apt to tell all of my friends, hey, I need all of you to like and share this. I mean, realistically, I've got, 25,000 subscribers, Aniplex. I can just go, hey guys, I need everyone to like and share this so that we get 3 more Saint Courts. And really, come on, Aniplex, with the way that your gacha rates are, 3 Saint Courts is literally nothing. You got a 0.7% chance to pull the SSR. Giving us a little bit of extra stuff isn't going to break your game. The people who are going to spend thousands of dollars on waifu PNGs are still going to spend thousands of dollars regardless of you giving us, 30 Saint Courts. Because let's be real, you're not getting who you want in a 10 spin anyways. So, you really need to coddle your free-to-play players, because your free-to-play players are who brings in your whales. Because your free-to-play players, if you don't treat them well, they'll literally go to any other game. Like, at the drop of a dime, they're not invested in your game. They don't care. They've invested some time. I used to jump from gacha game to gacha game. As soon as the paywall hit and I couldn't move forward and you didn't give me any stuff, I just uninstalled your game and literally went to another game. And then I told my friends, hey, let's go to this other game. So the other thing, too, is if you coddle the free-to-play players and you give them some extra stuff, they're more apt to invest in your game, because now maybe they have more stuff. Maybe they're like, oh, well, my account's pretty okay. I need to get out there. I'm going to spend $20 just for this one servant that I want, Now, I'm not saying you're going to ever get that servant in $20. We all know that that's not true. But, that's the mindset. And you need to, as a Japanese company, you need to take everything that you know about Japanese economy and Japanese people and throw it out the window, because North American people are completely different. You can't come at North America with a Japanese marketing strategy. Take any other gacha game. Like I said, Azure Lane is who I work with quite often. They know how to market to North Americans, and they take feedback seriously, because I provide a ton of feedback for them. Now, are they going to change anything because I said something? I doubt it, but they're at least listening. So that's that's a big thing. But I'll have a bigger video I mean, I've probably just talked for like the last 6 minutes about this. You know, you're like, oh god, a bigger video. This dude's gonna rant for like 45 fucking minutes about gacha games. But I probably will, actually.
Gotta get that non-existent
gotta get that non-existent ad revenue, because you gotta get over 10 minutes to get that second ad in. But yeah, no. So that was the last question.
It was.
Okay.
Bonus question.
Okay.
Was there a question on the list that you didn't want to answer on the video?
No, actually, I don't think that I saw any questions in the comment section that I was like, I don't want to answer this. There were a bunch that were just kind of like, I mean, well, not a bunch. I mean, there were a couple that were just like real dumb questions, just like, you know, how's it feel reading the wiki for 10 minutes? I actually probably should have answered that one. Just been like, actually, it feels pretty good.
Boom. Bonus question. You're welcome, Internet.
Yeah. My question to you is, how's it feel to not have a channel and be a hater? You know, because to quote the great tweet T Swizzle, the greatest singer-songwriter of our time, haters gonna hate, and you just gotta brush it off. So there's a little secret that the YouTube community didn't know about me. I actually really fucking love Taylor Swift. Not because her music is good, but because her music is infectious. And when I actually had to drive to work, no matter what station I had it on, like somehow Taylor Swift songs would come on there. And then I'm like, well, this is going to be in my head forever. Forever. And then I was like, ironically, and you never want to do anything ironically, because it'll absolutely turn into something that you do. Like, I remember I ironically started saying totes at one point, and then it was just like, yeah, no, totes, same oof. And then you're just like, after a while, you're just like, oh god, I'm that person. It's like, I tried to explain to somebody, and if you don't own a Jeep, or like a motorcycle, or one of those vehicles, you really won't know. But if you own a Jeep, every person who has a Jeep that you drive past does this thing, or like waves at you. And at the very beginning, you're like, why is this person waving at me? I have nothing, I don't know that person. But then you're like, oh, it's because I have that car. Like, I had a Mustang at one point, and like everybody with a Mustang would wave at me, and I'm just like, oh, okay. But then you just do it out of like, because you don't want to be rude, and then you just start doing it. Like subconsciously, you're just like, oh, I'm going to wave at this Jeep person. And then, if that Jeep person doesn't wave back at you, then you're like, wow, way to not wave back at me, jerk. And then you're like, oh my god, I'm that person now. And I think that's how that starts. Like, one person just does it, and that's just forever. Because you just, like, you see it, and you're like, if you're not a rude person, or you're actually paying attention, you're like, oh, well, hey.
It's like a social virus.
It's like a social virus. You know, same with like motorcycles and all that stuff. But yeah, so I will end on that with just some random life talking there. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you guys for 25,000 subs now, and I really do appreciate it. I never thought that my channel would get to where it got to. So yeah, no, I definitely appreciate it. And here's hoping to have many more subs, and we'll see where the channel goes. A lot of people ask me what the channel growth strategy is, and I have no clue, because I didn't think we would get here. So anyways, guys, I will catch you later, and I'll probably do another one of these at some point, maybe at 50K. So yeah, we'll see. Alright, take it easy, guys. Peace.
Crack it.